on News Hour tonight. INEC declares Ayedatiwa winner of Ondo election. PDP wins all 14 chairmanship positions in Zamfara local government election. Nigerian Air Force strikes kill bandit leaders, key loyalists in Zamfara. And on the international scene, 50 killed as Israel bombs residential building in North Gaza. A very good evening and welcome to the News Hour on Trust Television. My name is Sagir Ibrahim. Thanks for joining. Now the news in full. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, on Sunday declared the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa, winner of the Saturday's governorship election in Ondo State. The returning officer, Professor Olayemi Akinwumi, declared Ayedatiwa winner at the State Coalition Center, INEC headquarters, Alagbaka, Akure. Akinwumi, who is the Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Lokoja, Kogi State, declared and returned the APC candidate elected. According to the result, Ayedatiwa polled 366,781 votes to defeat his major rival and candidate of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, Agbola Ajayi, who came a distant second with 117,845 votes, while African Democratic Party's Adeyemi Nejo came third with 4,138 votes. The incumbent governor won all the 18 councils in the state to clinch a landslide victory in the election.
You were all there, we were all on the field. The election was induced and the highest bidder takes over. That is what it is. We have all campaigned throughout the nooks and crannies of the state. And I can tell you, the yearning is the craving and the aspiration of the people of Ondo State. But where? At that point of voting, maybe because of poverty, I wouldn't know. Well, that is it, really. People just decide and say, well, I think if this is money, let us go for it. After all, we don't have anything with us. But my concern is this. If this is the future of election in Nigeria, then we have a long way to go.
Akinmurele John Otitoloju of YPP 216. Mimiko Olubansile Abbas of ZLP 2692. That Ayedatiwa Lucky Orimisan of APC, having satisfied the requirement of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
The All Progressives Congress has congratulated Lucky Ayedatiwa for winning the Ondo governorship election, commending the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, security agencies and others who played critical roles in the successful conduct of the election. Ayedatiwa, the incumbent governor of the state, was declared as the winner of the election on Sunday, defeating his closest rival, Ajayi Agbola, who flew the People's Democratic Party's flag in the poll. Now, minutes after the declaration, the APC said the victory was a testament that Ayedatiwa's policies were in alignment with the people's wishes. And also, residents of Ondo State have charged the governor-elect on the need to prioritize good governance. They reflected on the current challenges and urged him to create a template for a more resilient and prosperous future in accordance with the challenges and priorities of the present circumstances. Trust TV's Jonathan Awaye completes the story.
The residents who spoke with Trust TV urged Ondo State Governor-elect Mr. Lucky Ayedatiwa to tackle insecurity, poverty and unemployment, urging him to instill transparency and accountability in governance. They noted that good governance is more than a moral obligation, but an economic imperative, saying that it is the key to unlocking the nation's potential, attracting vital investment and creating opportunities for the citizens.
We have a lot of challenges in this country now presently. Agriculture is the first thing. We need mechanism, farming to develop and to create jobs for youth, both female and male.
Road well spoiled, so to let him help us repair do the road for us.
The governor should provide more job opportunity for the people, because there are a lot of people outside that they don't have job. Should provide job for them, and also should provide more electricity for the people and the area that he sees that should be repaired.
We want him to give a chance for the unemployed youth and give them work, the homeless child, to help them, assist them, help them with a home build house for them or any orphanage house.
Earlier, the Ondo State Governor and Governor-elect, Mr. Lucky Aiyedatiwa, promised to continually run an inclusive and participatory government where every citizen has a voice and an opportunity to contribute to the state's collective progress. Jonathan Awanyai, Trust TV News, Ondo.
And joining us live to give more details on this development is Jonathan Awanyai, Trust TV reporter who is currently in Ondo State. Good evening, Jonathan. Welcome to the News Hour. First, I would like you to sort of paint us a picture of what the atmosphere has been like since the announcement of the incumbent governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, as returned elected following the governorship election.
Good evening. Thanks for having me. As at the time he was announced, we went about the town, and the celebration at some of the major towns, ranging from the market square to the popular bus stop where people converge. We saw a team of persons, celebrating, and we had an opportunity to speak with them where they aired their minds on their perception towards the victory of the governor-elect.
All right, Jonathan, you covered the election, which means that you went around, some of the local governments, or do I say polling units across the state. I want you to give us an assessment of what you would say, describes the entire process from start up until this point.
Okay, from our findings and from what we saw across the polling units that we visited, generally we would say it's a peaceful election. INEC on their own part, I would say they did come out on time and they did their best to ensure a seamless process. However, the major concerns in Ondo West was the case of malfunctioning of the givers, and that's majorly the problem, apart from the other issues of vote buying in some parts of the state. Generally, it was peaceful, apart from the givers machine that malfunctioned, I think, in about 2 local governments.
All right. What can you tell us about, maybe, do I call it now the involvement, of politicians in the entire process?
The involvement of politicians is crossed across the political spectrum. I would say that despite the presence of security agencies, in some areas it was an open view display of money. It was an open view vote trading. And it's worrisome that security agencies at that time couldn't do much to prevent it. That's about politicians.
All right, then. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for giving us updates. And of course, we'll keep in contact as more develops. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Jonathan Awanyai, the Trust TV reporter in Ondo State, who monitored the Ondo governorship election from the start till this point. Moving on now, the People's Democratic Party has recorded a landslide victory in the just concluded Zamfara State local government election, winning all 14 chairmanship seats and securing every councillorship position. The chairman of the Zamfara State Independent Electoral Commission, ZASIEC, Bala Aliyu, announced the result on Sunday morning. Speaking with newsmen shortly after the collation exercise in Gusau, the commission's chairman said the PDP candidates had emerged victorious across all local government areas, including Gusau, Kaura Namuda, Maru, Talata Mafara, and Anka, among others. He described the elections as free, fair, and credible, attributing the success of the exercise to the collaborative efforts of security agencies, election officials, and voters. The representative of the PDP at the Collation Center, Wadatu Madawaki, expressed his satisfaction with the election results, describing it as resounding endorsement of the PDP's leadership and commitment to the development of Zamfara State. He charged the local government chairman-elect to key into Governor Dauda Lawal's rescue mission to take Zamfara to greater heights. Independent observers who monitored the elections reported a generally peaceful atmosphere and praised the conduct of the polls, highlighting the improved security arrangements that allowed the election to be conducted smoothly. And the chairman of the Ogun State Independent Electoral Commission has cleared all of the APC has cleared all of the 20 chairmanship seats in the just concluded local government elections held on Saturday in Ogun State. The chairman of the Ogun State Independent Electoral Commission, Babatunde Osi Bodu, made this announcement in Abeokuta, the state capital. Trust TV's Abbas Dalibi brings details.
The state governor, Dapo Abiodun, who voted at his Unit 2, Ward 3, Ikene local government area of the state, commended the peaceful conduct of the exercise.
I want to thank the good people of Ogun State who have come out in their numbers to express themselves through the ballot. I see this as a vote of confidence, particularly at this time where we know that it would cost more than it cost last election to actually file out and go to exercise your franchise.
The exercise is to elect chairmen into the 20 local government areas as well as 236 councillors to mend the affairs of the third tier of government, at least for the next 3 years.
I want to strongly believe that if that will mitigate against this idea of disenfranchising people from casting their vote for one reason or the other, I will believe that it's not a bad idea. But the only thing is that there should be a lot of processes into this that will make it to be more legal and that can show to the whole world that the level of transparency as far as that process is concerned will convince Nigerians that going forward into the future, aside the INEC card, we can also use other legal means of identification like your international passport or the NIN card.
The exercise was initially characterized by late deployments of election materials as well as poll commenced. As the poll commenced, about 3 hours behind the stipulated time of 8 a.m.
My observation so far was that I have been here since yesterday morning, and in the distribution of non-sensitive materials, I discovered especially the from EC 8A and other ones whatever that we used to record results. So these result sheets were actually given in 2 copies, which make me to be doubting that this election might not be credible.
When it eventually got underway, Governor Dapo Abiodun cast his vote at about 11:18 a.m. at his Ward 3 Unit 2, Itaisoyin in Ikperu Ikene local government area of the state. He commenced the peaceful atmosphere under which the election was held.
I want to first appreciate the Ogun State Independent Electoral Commission for their level of preparedness for this election. The feedback I have gotten is that they have been very thorough, they have been very diligent. In any election, you can't rule out maybe some logistics hiccups, but by and large, I'm informed that as of now, electoral materials have reached all the nooks and crannies of Ogun State, and indeed, the process of voting has commenced in earnest.
Meanwhile, residents says, apart from the initial delays, the exercise was smooth and devoid of violence.
And Comrade Tonye Yamoleha of the Radio Bielsa Chapel has emerged as the new chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Bielsa State Council, following a tightly contested triennial election. Yamoleha secured 213 votes, narrowly defeating Comrade Ogio Ipigansi of the Information Chapel, who polled 209 votes. Friday Peter has more on the election.
The newly elected NUJ Bielsa State Chairman, Comrade Tonye Yamoleha, described his victory as a win for the entire council. He called for collective support to ensure the success of the new leadership in serving the union effectively.
I feel elected. I feel that collectively, council members have decided to move forward, to give themselves something better. Before the elections, we campaigned as groups, but today we have given for ourselves to be at the helm of affairs for 3 years, a new set of leadership led by Tonye Yamoleha. The victory is not for Tonye Yamoleha, the victory is for NUJ Bielsa State Council. And our assurances have always been there. We will not go back, we will do those things. And it's time for work, it's time for some serious business, it's time to move NUJ to a pedestal where we can all be proud of it. I appreciate everyone, I thank everyone, every council member, every stakeholder, all the sacrifices we have made to ensure that this day is a success. And above all, I also say thank you to the creator of heaven and earth. The weather was clement and it was a peaceful atmosphere and a huge success. This is a plus. We must continue to build on everything positive.
Comrade Akwa Akpuruku of Royal FM Chapel and Ben Monique of Information Chapel described the process as peaceful, free and fair.
There's going to be a new shift in the energy. It's going to be a whole new thing. We have come, the ESCO is coming to rejig NUJ Bielsa State. The council is not where it's supposed to be. We are coming to change the narrative. We are going to bring a whole new thing and then bring back NUJ Bielsa State to its rightful place.
The election was very nice, credible. It was really fair. It is fair election, and I'm so happy. There are challenges that came from our sister union, Ratawo of Radio Bielsa. They were paying their check-off dues to NUJ, but when it comes to votes, there was a little hiccup. They refused them to vote.
Other executives elected include Comrade Enebraton Priye, Vice Chairman, Comrade Stanley Ingbi, Secretary, Comrade Tekio Theophilus, Treasurer, Comrade Agidi Theophilus, Financial Secretary, and Grace Iwolu, Auditor, who are to serve for a period of 3 years. From Yanagwa, Friday, Ebimobowe Peter, Trust TV News.
And to news around security now, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has accused some individuals of trying to sabotage the efforts of the government in curbing insecurity in the country. According to him, the individuals were doing everything possible to frustrate the efforts of government. Musa boasted that the individuals would not be allowed to undermine Nigerian security. The CDS spoke on Saturday after receiving 58 rescued kidnapped victims from the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, for onward transmission to the Kaduna State government. It was reported that the victims were kidnapped from their homes and farmlands from the Gayam, Sabunlayi and Kwaga villages in Damusa local government area in Katsina State. The victims, comprising 35 males and 23 females, were rescued on November 14, 2024 by troops of the 1 Division. Musa stressed that contrary to the belief of many Nigerians, not all who were involved in banditry joined willingly. According to him, some of them were conscripted, adding that the troops would ensure the perpetrators face the wrath of the law. Also, Musa added that no kobo was paid for the victims to regain their freedom. He called on the citizens to support the security agencies in the ongoing fight against insecurity. The National Coordinator, National Counter-Terrorism Center, Major General Adamu Laka, said preliminary investigation revealed that the victims were kidnapped by suspected armed bandits under the command of notorious bandit Jambros. The Nigerian Air Force says its airstrike against banditry has killed several bandits, including key loyalists of infamous bandit leaders Den Isuhu and Dogo Sule. This was disclosed in a statement by the NAF Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Olushola Akimboyewa. He said the air component of Operation Fansanyama executed further air interdiction missions in Zamfara State on Friday, November 15. The airstrikes targeted a large assembly of bandits in Babankauye village, situated in Safe local government area of the northwestern state. Akimboyewa noted that intelligence sources revealed that the congregation of criminals were perfecting plans for coordinated attacks against military personnel and civilians along the Tafe axis. He said Tafe local government area has long been a flashpoint for bandit activities, with factions loyal to Den Isuhu and Dogo Sule notorious for orchestrating violent assaults on local communities, security forces, and vital infrastructure. To the Air Force spokesman, terrorist groups have utilized remote settlements like Babankauye as strategic safe havens from which they coordinate and execute their nefarious operations. Meanwhile, troops from 6th Brigade of the Nigerian Army, Jalingo, Taraba State, has captured a suspect who confessed to have kidnapped 20 people and collected 70 million naira ransom. The acting assistant director of Public Relations of 6th Army Brigade, Jalingo, Captain Oni Olubodunde, said the suspect, Suleiman Ahmed, of Bomanda village in Low local government area, was arrested on 12th November this year. He said the suspect was arrested during an operation conducted by the troops at Maraban, Abare, and Bomanda, and also Karamuke villages in Low local government area. The operation conducted by the troops was aimed at curbing kidnapping activities in Low local government area, and during an initial investigation, Suleiman Ahmed confessed to the abduction of 20 individuals within the local government and revealed that he had extorted over 70 million naira from victims. Captain Oni further revealed that the suspect also admitted to being in possession of an AK-47 rifle, which he used in his criminal operations. The spokesman stated that during a follow-up operation on 15 November, the troops recovered the AK-47 from a concealed location and apprehended one of Ahmed's accomplices. The accomplice, according to Captain Oni, was identified as Husseini, while a suspected gun runner was arrested by the troops at his residence in the Mayodasa area of Low local government. And operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have intercepted a significant shipment of cocaine destined for the United Kingdom. The contraband, valued at several millions of naira, was concealed within everyday food items such as granulated pepper, melon seeds, and yam flour. Femi Babafemi, the NDLEA's Director of Media and Advocacy, disclosed this information via his X account on Sunday, sharing a video of the intercepted contraband. Point-of-sale operators in Taraba State are taking advantage of the cash scarcity in commercial banks, charging exorbitant fees for withdrawals. Findings show that while banks in Jalingo and other towns allow customers to withdraw between 30,000 naira and 50,000 naira, POS operators impose no limits, particularly in cattle and grain markets, where transactions runs into millions of naira on market days. Reports indicate that POS operators charge between 1,500 and 2,000 naira per 100,000 naira transaction. Aliyu Garba, a grain dealer at Mutumbiu Market in Gasol local government area, said he has no choice but to pay the charges, as farmers from surrounding villages only accept cash for their produce. At the Iware cattle market, cattle merchants face similar challenges. Yusuf Adamu, a dealer, noted that while POS operators always have cash, their fees are steep. He added that their services are indispensable since the 10 towns hosting major cattle markets in the state lack commercial banks. Similarly, out of the 12 towns hosting major grain markets, only Mutumbiu has a bank, forcing traders to rely on POS operators despite the high charges. And faced with rising fuel and maintenance costs, Gombe residents are embracing electric motorcycles as a cheaper, eco-friendly alternative to traditional fuel-powered bikes. This growing trend mirrors a broader shift in developing nations where electric vehicles are gaining traction for their affordability and sustainability. Trust TV's Hassan Koli brings details.
Electric motorcycles are taking Gombe by storm, offering fuel-free rides and an eco-friendly alternative for riders. Equipped with features like an electric start and pulse monitoring dashboards, they deliver a safer, more convenient riding experience. Initially, we struggled to convince people to try electric vehicles, but once they realized how portable they are, along with the cost savings on fuel and the convenience of avoiding long queues at filling stations, they started embracing them willingly. The main reason I switched to electric vehicles is the economic downturn, especially the high cost of fueling my bike. A full charge lets me travel at least 100 kilometers, which is incomparable to fossil-powered bike. It is more convenient with no engine issues, and I am really enjoying the experience. While maintenance and severe faults often discourage people from adopting new machines, electric motorcycles sidestep these hurdles, offering a hassle-free alternative for riders. Maintenance is a breeze with electric motorcycles. Unlike petrol-powered bikes, they have just 3 main components: the coil, battery, and frame boss. What makes them even better is the dashboard, which allows riders to easily spot issues with readily available, reliable parts for replacement. Most repairs can even be handled by the owner without needing an electrician. The rise of electric motorcycles in Gombe mirrors a nationwide shift towards sustainable transportation. The World Bank reports that over half of developing countries could see economic benefits from electric mobility, including reduced air pollution, lower maintenance costs, and less reliance on costly imported fossil fuels. From Gombe, Hassan Koli reporting for Trust TV.
You're watching the news hour on Trust Television. Coming up shortly. Local cuisine Masar Bauchi maintains its popularity among customers in northern Nigeria. This and of course other stories when we return. Join us again.
Welcome to Trust TV, your gateway to the captivating essence of Nigerian history, culture, and society.
And this is where the hydroelectric power dam is supposed to be constructed.
Delve into the depths of Nigeria's past with our insightful documentaries unraveling the intricacies of ancient civilizations and colonial influences that have shaped the nation's identity. Immerse yourself in the vibrant Nigerian traditions and customs as we showcase the diverse cultural landscape.
The early history of human existence can be traced to the heart of northern Nigeria. Here, archaeologists found evidence of a group of people who sculpted clay and developed tools to smelt iron.
From lively festivals to time-honored rituals, Trust TV
encapsulates the spirit of Nigeria's dynamic heritage. Experience an authentic portrayal of contemporary Nigerian culture that is both engaging and enriching.
With over 250 ethnicities, over 500 languages, and a youthful population, Nigeria has a truly diverse demographic advantage.
Don't miss out on Trust TV's amazing and impactful storytelling. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Should I keep quiet? And then we kept saying, can't we teach these people basic business, not hustling? Teach our people entrepreneurship, not hustling. Go to China, Guangzhou, different districts. They can turn fair. Am I saying what you don't know?
Yes, and do you know why? Because we are coming from a sort of despite the narrative, anti-corruption. But you know, the anti-corruption agencies went to sleep in the last 8 years.
However, if you are to go backwards and do a kind of audit, you will be shocked to find that the resources so far expended on the SDGs far outstrips the achievements face to face.
Most of the time when you are involved, it's difficult for you to draw back and have a holistic view. Because what? Sentiment would always come to play, because all of us would definitely, I had, like I told you yesterday, I was 100% convinced that you cannot say you are qualified without bringing any document.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, this is the News Hour on Trust Television. Now recap of our top stories. INEC declares Ayedatiwa winner of Ondo election. And PEP wins all 14 chairmanship positions in Zamfara local government election. Moving on now, the Federal Capital Territory Emergency Management Department has reopened the barricaded slip road connecting the Goodluck Jonathan Expressway with Ring Road 2 at the Galadimawa interchange. The Acting Director General of the department, Abdurrahman Mohammed, explained on Saturday that the road was barricaded on 25th June to mitigate flooding during the rainy season. Mohammed stated that the road was reopened to ease traffic flow now that the rainy season has ended. He commended residents and stakeholders for their understanding and support throughout the rainy season. The Acting Director General also announced the commencement of the 2024 dry season sensitization campaign to combat frequent fire outbreaks in the federal capital. Mohammed advised residents to exercise caution when handling cooking gas, petroleum products, electrical appliances, and other inflammable items or chemicals. He urged residents to keep cooking gas outside their kitchens and to avoid strong petrol or inflammable chemicals in cars or homes. Now, masa, a beloved delicacy from northern Nigeria, is a staple in many households, with recipes varying across communities. In Bauchi State, however, masa has transcended local kitchens, finding its way onto state, national, and even international plates. In this report, Trust TV's Isho Adamu delves into the distinct charm of Masar Bauchi and explores the thriving value chain it supports.
Masar Bauchi, as the name suggests, is a centuries-old delicacy deeply rooted in Bauchi's culinary tradition. Prepared for both home consumption and commercial purposes, it has become a legacy business for many households in the state. Among its champions is Madam Elizabeth Gainaka, a renowned masa expert who was born and raised in the craft carrying forward this cherished tradition.
In a local way.
I started business of masa since I was young. We started it in a local way in village. Every morning I have to sell masa before going to school, and that was how I picked interest in the business. When I was married, I continued with the business, but on weekly basis, because our market in the village operates once in a week. People do come to my stand in the market and buy masa every week. When my husband was transferred to Congolan border, I still continue with the business over there. But when he was posted to Jibia border, I returned to Bauchi and continue with the business. What sets Masar Bauchi apart is its versatility and longevity. It can be preserved for days without spoiling and enjoyed in various forms. Some savor it with vegetable soup or local spices like yaji, while others prepare it with honey or sugar, tailoring the experience to their taste. Though rooted in Bauchi, this delicacy has crossed borders, finding fans across Nigeria and even abroad. My late mother, Hajia Asabi, started the business of masa, and I can confidently tell you, I don't know when she started it. And presently, I am over 50 years old. My mother was among the few people that started the business in the whole Bauchi state. Though she has faced with some challenges in running the business, but as God have it, we are still running it as a family legacy business. Though she was faced with some challenges in running the business, but as God have it, we are still running it as a family legacy business. The masa trade stand out with its robust value chain, creating jobs for masa makers, retailers, transporters, and ingredient suppliers. In Bauchi's capital, masa sports have become hubs of opportunity, offering women and youth daily chances to learn and engage in various aspects of the business, driving economic empowerment in the community.
The first time I came to Bauchi, there's this my friend that took me to her place at around that.
I joined Madam Elizabeth's masa sport because I wanted to learn preparing the delicacy. I was introduced to this sport by a friend when I visited Bauchi some years back. I bought masa and took it to Jos and share same with my friends. So anytime I take masa to Jos, people rush to it. Since then, I developed interest in learning this delicacy. My intention is to set up my own business in Jos after graduation. I'm here to learn how to prepare masa. My husband absconded and we don't know where to find him. I was left with 5 children, so I have no option than to engage in business to take care of my children. For many, masa has become a staple, with loyal consumers ordering it weekly, even when they are far from Bauchi State. Masar Bauchi attracts patrons from within and outside the state. While some enjoy it during their visits, others take it home to share with their families in other parts of the country. I'm a regular customer at this spot because I have been coming here for the last 1 year. I am satisfied with the quality and taste of masa that is being sold here. I'm a driver and I used to bring more customers to this place. I also used to take this masa to various customers in Kano, Abuja, Jos, and Darazu. I'm a regular customer in this place. Sadly, despite its significant contribution to Bauchi State's economy and Nigeria at large, masa producers have received little to no government support to help expand their businesses. Yusho Adamu, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Teachers in Bauchi State's basic schools are urging the state government to focus more on creative teaching and skills development for pupils rather than solely emphasizing core subjects. Speaking in an interview with Trust TV, they highlighted the need for improved quality education in primary schools across the state. Trust TV's Adamu Imam brings details.
Many Nigerians are increasingly concerned about the declining standards at the primary school level, where education quality appears to be slipping. The system seems to to befalling many at the lower rungs of society. Teachers in Bauchi have noticed that pupils are more focused on craft skills than core subjects during class, underscoring the need for authorities to reassess and address the situation.
Agri, where they can make practical of this agri subject, they can plant something. Let's say they can plant something so that they will see how the plant will start germinating and how the plant will grow. So if we can have all these facilities for making this subject live, I think we will improve. Some of them, they are good, some are good in small, maybe making handwork like that, craft work. So the government too can improve, or they can add to our curriculum too.
The signs of this rapid decline are evident in children with poor elocution, difficulty expressing themselves, and weak arithmetic skills.
5 plus 2.
7.
Okay. 6 plus 1.
7.
Alright. 2 plus 3.
5.
1 plus 4.
5.
Which class are you? Okay. Which course are you doing now? Which subject? English? Okay. Can you tell me something? What can you tell me about your school?
Teachers of speech.
Okay. Educationists, on the other hand, emphasize the importance of infrastructure in basic schools, urging the government to collaborate with local communities to safeguard these resources for the benefit of all. They have done their part in providing infrastructure, but the facilities must be maintained to ensure a conducive learning environment. For example, providing 300 chairs and fencing is a step forward, but it is the responsibility of both the authorities and the community to maintain these resources for the students. If we truly want to address the infrastructure decay in primary schools, the government knows what steps need to be taken. However, the State Education Authority asserts that they are committed to maintaining primary school facilities and urge community stakeholders to support rather than sabotage government efforts. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
A Kaduna-based human rights activist, Mahdi Shehu, has lamented the continuous abuse of justice at lower courts. He stated this when he dined with inmates and freed 10 others at the Medium Correctional Center in Zaria. Abubakar Sadiq completes the report.
Mahdi Shehu said such abuses are a bad precedent to the entire justice system in the country. According to him, if left unchecked, the prevailing situation will tarnish the image of the judiciary, being the last hope of the common man. He urged the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Kudrat Kekere Ekun, to take proactive measures to correct the abnormalities in order to safeguard the institution.
Honorable Justice Kekere Ekun is a mother. Children are being incarcerated, some of them unjustifiably. She knows the pain of the mother of these children. She is also a public service who swore to uphold justice, equity, and fairness. I don't need to tell her what amounts to justice, equity, and fairness. She's also a woman of conscience. I expect her to be guided by her conscience, especially taking cue from what happened during the last election.
The human rights activist, who provided food and drinks for the inmate and also dined with them at the correctional facility, freed 10 other inmates after paying their fines and compensation.
So far 65, and inshallah we're still counting. We'll continue today. Not only that we brought out 10 inmates, we fed 350 of them with food, water, and drink. I urge people that are staying within custodial areas to please, in the name of God, continue to visit. These people are visibly hungry. They are malnourished, emaciated, disoriented, bewildered.
Meanwhile, a renowned Islamic cleric and close associate to the activist, Sheikh Mohammed Awal Sharif, enjoined scholars to extend their religious gesture beyond churches and mosques. He urged them to accord greater priority to correctional facilities in their religious welfare scheme.
Honestly, I think our religious institution have a serious problem. The problem is that we are just building mosques, we are building churches, we are not building orphanage, we are not coming to prison service to free inmates. So my advice for wealthy people is to be coming here, at least if you can't free them, for example, you can bring them food, soap, toothpaste, or anything that they will enjoy their life over there.
Some freed inmates who expressed remorse thanked the human rights activists for giving them freedom.
I am very, 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 very happy. I don't even know the kind of happiness that was in my mind, because I don't ever expect this kind of happiness in my life. And this man, he was trying since when he was coming to this prison. This is the second time that he was coming to this prison. Everybody was appreciative to the thing that he do.
Recall that Mahdi Shehu had just last week freed 55 inmates from Kaduna and Zaria correctional facilities. From Zaria, Abubakar Sadiq Muhammad, Trust TV News.
You're watching the News Hour on Trust Television. More news after the break. Join us again. Welcome back. If you're just joining, this is the News Hour on Trust Television. To foreign news now. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu met to renew what they called the strategic partnership between the giants of Asia and Africa on Sunday. Abuja was Modi's first stop in a tour that will take the Indian Premier on the G20 summit in Brazil and to Guyana. Modi was welcomed to the Nigerian presidency by a military pipe band and honor guard before entering closed-door talks with Tinubu and senior officials at his Aso Rock residence. Tinubu conferred on Modi the Nigerian honor of Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, congratulated him on India's democratic credentials, and pledged to work together on the basis of mutual respect and shared mission. Also, President Bola Tinubu will depart Abuja for Rio de Janeiro, Brazil on Sunday to attend the 19th meeting of the G20 Leaders Summit taking place in a South American country. The summit will be held from Monday, November 18 to Tuesday, November 19, 2024. The Nigerian leaders' participation is at the instance of the Brazilian president and current president of the group, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. Tinubu's special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, reviewed in a statement on Sunday. The statement is titled President Tinubu to participate in G20 Leaders Summit in Brazil. Monday's gathering will bring together leaders from the world's top 20 economies, including the European Union, the African Union, and multilateral financial institutions, among others. This year's meeting, under the theme Building a Just World and Sustainable Planet, will see the participants discuss the fight against hunger and poverty, reform of the institution of global governance and sustainable development, and energy transition. Tinubu is also expected to hold bilateral meetings on the sidelines of the summit in the advancement of Nigeria's socio-economic reforms. Sunday's trip is Tinubu's first to Brazil as president and his 31st foreign trip since assuming office 17 months ago. So far, he has logged 125 days abroad, visiting 16 countries and accumulated over 267 flight hours. And at least 50 people, a third of them children, have been killed in an Israeli strike in northern Gaza's Beit Lahia city, authorities said, as deadly bombardments hit the central and southern parts of the besieged Palestinian territory. Gaza's government media office on Sunday said Israeli forces struck a multi-story residential building housing 6 forcibly displaced Palestinian families in Beit Lahia. The Ministry of Health Director General Munir al-Bursh said that almost 30% of the victims of the Beit Lahia massacre were children. He said dozens of others were wounded and many more are feared trapped under the rubble. Mahmoud Bassad, spokesman for the Palestinian Civil Defense in Gaza, said that emergency workers were unable to reach the site of the attack due to the more than 40-day-old Israeli siege on northern Gaza. With reports of several people trapped under the rubble, the death toll is likely to rise in the coming hours. There was no immediate comment from Israel, which has been conducting genocide in the Palestinian territory for more than a year. Now, the 2024 Nigeria Rugby League Grand Finale has taken place in Abuja between Lagos Bulls and Kano Lions. Trust TV sports correspondent Adeniyi Ajishafe brings details.
The Nigerian Rugby League Association finals held in Abuja started with the women category involving Kano Lionesses and Lagos Bulls ladies. Lagos Bulls women dominated the game from beginning to the end of both halves, taking full control to outsmart Kano Lionesses with a run of various conversions. Kano Lionesses made a guard of honor for the winning team, Lagos Bulls ladies, who indomitably won the game 58-0. The men's final had Kano Lions in green and white and Lagos Bulls in white and red, scoring up in a fierce game with so many tackles. The first strike came from Kano Lion jersey number 4 with a good run to beat before conversion by jersey number 10. More tries came for Kano Lions as they showed much grit in the first 40 minutes with 4 successful conversions. In the second half, the two teams came out looking for opportunities to outscore in a more competitive half. Kano Lions number 11 made a good run for a conversion before the coil of the half to add more. Respite came for Lagos Bulls after getting 2 conversions to reduce the deficit as Kano Lions maintained their leadership till end to win the game by 6-2. The rugby players were full of excitement for winning their games.
Winning this game? We feel great. First thing is we train hard. We have been practicing every week. We went to gym, we keep on communication, and we support ourselves in terms of playing.
I mean, it's fantastic coming all the way from Kano, and we've been dominating the league, we've been dominating the national league as well, so it's amazing in general. Actually, they are professional because we played against them the last season and it was this is even better than what they did last time. So I would say they came up to the standard, but it's obvious we're better than them.
No, we've been playing Lagos for the past 5 years now, so we always dominate. Like, we are just good, and we train a lot, and we always train a lot to get perfect. So we're good, and we played well, our pattern and everything, so we are just good.
General Manager of NRLA explains further on the competition and expectations for next year.
Well, next year is going to be a fantastic year. It's very exciting for us. This was just an icing on the cake. So next year we have the women going for the World Series against the best in the world. The men are going to be playing in Ghana. So this match was sort of a benchmark to allow us to pick the best in the country for our men. They'll be playing Ghana early in the year. We have the league that will be coming up. That will be this league as well. So everybody wants to be able to be in this final next year. So you can imagine that there's going to be high energy, intensity, and a fantastic overall league happening in the country.
Thank you so much. Kano Lions celebrate in ecstasy for lifting the 2024 NRLA men's version, while Lagos Bulls ladies lifted the women's version. Ibrahim Shuaibu of Kano Lions won the men's MVP, as Adaize Innocent of Lagos Bulls ladies won the women's MVP. That's Sport News. I'm Adeniyi Ajishafe.
And with that, we wrap up the news hour on Trust Television. Do not forget to follow us across all of our social platforms and catch our live stream on YouTube for more news programs and documentaries. My name is Sagir Ibrahim. Have a good night.
Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.